of Biafra. Today, you know that as the zoo is failing and falling and collapsing, the dollar have risen to 700 or so. I don't know how much. So just for you to understand, so we need a very good team of researchers to be part of the Economic Research Service team of Biafra. We are also looking for professional in the aviation industry. We want to see you, if you have knowledge about the aviation industry, we need you to be part of the Federal Aviation Services of Biafra. The Federal Aviation Services of Biafra is needing your experience, your input, and your services. If you know that you are good in the credit database system, we are going to set up what we call the Farm Service and Credit Agency of Biafra. It is called Farm Service and Credit Agency of Biafra. If you want to be part of this team that will set up this particular service and credit services of Biafra, you are hereby requested to join and show your interest and your resume so we can look at it and you'll be part of the early stage of this particular government. We also looking for professionals in Federal Highway Administration. Federal Highway Administration, that is part of this. You are going to work very closely with the Ministry of Transportation and also to plan, of course, with the other department. It is not going to be only the Ministry of Transportation and other, but the Federal Highway Administration that will make sure that our highway are world-class standard. We are also looking for individuals and professionals in the Federal Housing Administration. Biafra will demolish every mud house. Every mud house in Biafra land will be demolished, and the government will have what we call the Federal Housing Administration that will begin to plan and begin to build the prototype, what we have in the prototype of Biafra city, and everybody will be, we have the opportunity to live in good environment and good house. So there will be no mud house in Biafra land. We will demolish them, but it's not going to happen immediately. Before we demolish your house or your, it must, a provision must have been made by the government to make sure you live up to standard. We have, of course, the Federal Housing Finance. The Federal Housing Finance for both the young people and average people in Biafra. And of course, that will make it possible for people to, acquire or buy houses, that have been built like just about any other part of the world. We also have the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. If you are experienced in this particular field, the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center will have people with experience in this particular field to be part of setting the standard for Biafra. We're also going to have what we call the Federal Trade Commission. The Federal Trade Commission of Biafra will also be part of this particular sector of Biafra government. So if you have experience in trade and all that, it's going to be part of, you're going to work together and closely with other departments that has to do with commerce. We are also looking at those and looking for those who are well versed and experienced in marine and wildlife, to be part of the Marine and Wildlife Agency. In the setting up of the Marine and the Wildlife Agency, you are hereby requested to contact us and let us start setting up the pace so that you people will continue, so that it will not be a surprise to Biafra people. We are looking for people to join the group for the Food and Drug Administration. If you are experienced in this Food and Drugs Administration Services of Biafra, you are hereby requested, if you know you have something to put an idea and input on how this particular sector of the economy of Biafra or the Department of Biafra will be run, please, we need your idea and your expertiseness as soon as possible. We also need individuals to be part of the food safety and inspection services. Before you import anything into Biafra, it is going to make sure it goes through this particular food safety and inspection services. Before food is, our target is that before you bring food to the public for public consumption, before you start a business, say you are making food that is for public consumption, it must pass through inspection. It must pass through this department called the Food Safety and Inspection Services. They must come before you set up your business of food. The inspection and this particular department will come to inspect your environment, inspect where the food is coming from, inspect the process, and if it is not up to the standard, they will advise you what to do to make it come up to the standard. And it is not just that. Those who are starters may also be entitled for government support, that you can, they can support you to make sure that your dream of supplying food to the public, that you actualize your dream. Let it not be because you don't have equipment or because the place is not neat enough. So this particular department will make sure they do recommendation before you can be approved to take your food out to the public for public consumption. So we need people who are expert in this particular field to show their interest so they can plan it very well how it is going to be in Biafra. And of course, we need the Forest Service Agency. The Forest Service Agency is needed if you are experienced in forestry or in the forest. For those who knows what to do in the forest and how our forests will be managed and all that, you are needed to show your interest if you have any experience in forest. So we are going to have what we call the Forest Service Agency. And of course, we have the Geological Survey. If you are a geologist, if you are experienced in this particular department, we are needing you, your service is needed to be part of the Geological Survey Department of Biafra. And then, of course, we are going to also have what we call the Government Accountability Office. The Government of Biafra Accountability Office. So if you know that you have something to offer in this particular department of this accountability office, you show your interest that you want to plan the office and how the sector or this particular department of Biafra will be run to be very effective. Accountability Office. And then we need also people with experience in publishing. So we need Government Publishing Office. Government Publishing Office. You see, this department, all this department that I've mentioned and this one I'm mentioning now, the Government Publishing Office, is very, very important, because by the time when we set the ground running, the dissemination of information will be coming from this particular Government Publishing Office. So all information will be disseminated from this particular office, and then it's going to be shared widely by everybody, and all the Biafra people will have one of the first class way of disseminating information from the Government Publishing Office. We also need people with experience in fishery commission. Our waters, that when they came, this Nigeria and their colonial masters, when they came, they have destroyed our river. Our water is now polluted with oils, and some of our brothers in the other riverine side of Biafra can no longer fish. So we are going to have the Fishery Commission that will make sure we restore the sanity in our water, to make sure we restore the water, and the water will be fine again for fishes, for those who are making living and who are going to be enjoying fishing. So the Fishery Commission will be activated to make sure that our water will be clean again. And of course, you know that if anything like gas still remain, that we are going to be having anything like petroleum and all that, we are going to give standard to every oil industry in Biafra land not to pollute our water. If you pollute our water, you are going to pay billions to clean the water, and you are going to clean it. So we also have the House of Representatives, Senate is going to be in Biafra. Internal Revenue Services, if you are experienced in this Internal Revenue Services, you are going to show your interest. Let us plan how our revenue services will be done. Of course, it is going to be electronical revenue services, so that is a part. But we need the people to come with experience and they make them some input. We also need people in commission for museum and library services. If you are experienced in this place, come forward with your resume, and we need to, put you online. International Boundary and Water Commission. For those who know exactly the history of Biafra very well, we are saying it that the time is now. We know the the boundary of Biafra. We know that Nigeria tried their best to cede part of Biafra territory to Cameroon. Today, we have our security, our BNL, the Biafra Nations League, BNL, is very heavily present in Bakassi Peninsula. And that Bakassi Peninsula, we are not going to cede that to Cameroon. We are not going to give even one plot of that Bakassi Peninsula to Cameroon. And I want to inform you today that after our alliances with the BNL, you all have seen that Cameroon now wake up, and they are every day in our territory trying to, to prove a point that we are in their territory. But that's a lie. So we are not going to, and today again, they have now revisited the issue of Bakassi, that now they want to go to ICJ, to go and for ICJ to give clarification on the judgment of Nigeria and Cameroon over Bakassi Peninsula. So it is because of these alliances, and because they have come to understand that this new generation of Biafra have planned that they never foresee coming from many years back. So today they have come to see it, and everybody is running katakata. Nigeria is now running kitikiti. The Cameroon is now running kitikiti. So we are not going to allow anybody to take our land. So for that reason, we need people with experience in this particular industry, which is the commission, which is the International Boundary and Water Commission. Very important. We need people in Trade Commission, and of course, and other legal service corporation. Those who want to be part of this legal service corporation of Biafra will also indicate their interest. We need to have people in the maritime administration of Biafra. If you have experience in this maritime, please come forward and let us begin to put things together. We need people in the Military Academy Commission. The Military Academy Commission, those of you in the military experience on administrative or military experience, you are needed here. You are needed here for the Military Academy Commission. We also need more experienced people on Missile Defense Agency, the Biafra Missile Defense Agency. We want to, of course, have the same thing that Israel have, automatic defense system for Biafra, because we are going to protect our border. So we want to, our target is to even have more technology, welfare than Israel. Our that is our target. Our dream is to have that automatic missile defense system like Israel have. So because they are going to come. When we get Biafra, it is not yet over. I want you people to understand that when we get Biafra, it is not yet over. We must protect and defend our land with the modern technology. So we need people with experience in missile defense system to be part of this particular agency. Now, like I said before, from the Labor Office and all that, we have what we call Biafra Citizens Business Development Agency. Biafra Citizens Business Development Agency. If you are very good and you have worked in such field in your country or in the country where you are in this particular business development and all that, we need you. We need your experience to come and start putting things together with your other team of professionals for the Citizens of Biafra Business Development Agency Department. Now we have also the National Aeronautic and the Space Administration. So the Aero and Space Administration is also needed. For those of you with experience in this field, you are needed. We have the National Archive and Record Administration. You are also needed to be part of this particular government, early government of Biafra. The National Cemetery Administration is needed. If you have experience in this, we need you as soon as possible. National Cemetery Administration. We also need people to be part of the Cancer Institution or National Cancer Institute of Biafra, a research institute that will, focus only on cancer and all that. So if you are a professional in this particular field, we are needing your services to be part of the planning, of how the Biafra National Cancer Institute will be and what they're going to be, what should be how the institution or the institute should operate and all that. We also need the National Constitution Center, those who are very good in drafting constitution and the interpretation of constitution and all that. We are going to have what we call the National Constitution Center, so that the constitution will be, no constitution is ever complete, subject to amendment, subject to edit and whatever you can call it. So, and then of course, whenever there is issue, it is going to be amended, and the National Constitution Center will continue to research on policy and the constitution of how the Biafra will stand and compete among nations. So we need you to be part of this constitution and the National Constitution Center. We also want to see people showing their interest in the National Credit Union Administration. It is part of the database system of Biafra. So we want you to be part of this. If you have experience in this particular credit union system, you are welcome to, put your ideas and your input on this. We also need people with specialists. We also need specialists in the eye, the National Eye Institute. Those of you that, with your eye, if you are an expert or professional in that, we need you to be part of the National Eye Institute. The National Gallery Art, this one is everybody want to be part of this National Gallery Art, because Biafra is rich with culture and all that. So I believe everybody will want to be part of this particular National Gallery of Art. We also need a National Universities Commission. We have, it is almost the same thing, but they're going to be a different department. We have the Allergy and Infectious Disease Commission. If you are a professional in this allergy and disease, a specialist or something, you may wish to be part of this particular department. and indicate your interest so that you will bring your original idea and opinions on how these things will be run in Biafra government. And then we have what we call the National Institute of Biomedical Imaging and Bioengineering. Those of you who are in this field, please, we need you as soon as possible. And then, of course, this one is what everybody have, what we call the Board of Nursing. Nursing. So we need those of you nurses, registered nurse, practicing nurse, coming to, all the nurses around the world, from London to America to wherever you are, and you are nurse, to Europe. We need you to be part of this particular team. Very, very, very important. Board of Nursing. Nursing. And then we have the National Institute of Deafness and Other Communication Disorder. So if you are expert and professional in this area, deaf and communication disorder, you are needed. We need to have one of the best, provide the best service for Biafra people with difficulties in hearing, communication disorder, and deafness. We need to, make sure we give them the best, that we can offer. Then we need the National Institute of Minority Health and Health Disparities. This is also needed in the health sector of the economy of Biafra. The National Library of Medicine. The National Library of Medicine. We need people to come on board and plan this particular department of the Library of Medicine. We are also looking for people that will be part of the National Park Services of Biafra to be part of this planning. And then, of course, the Renewable Energy Commission. If you are experienced in this field, we need you. And then we need the Biafra National Science Commission. The Biafra National Science Commission, if you are a scientist, you can come forward to be part of this. We also need Biafra National Wildlife Research Center. National Wildlife Research Center of Biafra. You need to be part of this if you have experience in this field. We want to see the some of our Akwa people in the nuclear industry. We want to have the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. I want you people to understand that the reason why Nigeria cannot use nuclear plant to generate electricity is because Nigeria is a terrorist country. Nigeria is a collapsed country. Nigeria is a failed state. And that in this life, until Nigeria ends in 2023, they can never be given the opportunity to use nuclear plant or nuclear power. But Nigeria have uranium. We have uranium in Nigeria, but they cannot develop it. They cannot use it because they are a terrorist country. So, the issue of whether we want to discuss it is, but in Biafra, we are going to have the privilege to go into nuclear plant and see how we can generate energy for, from the nuclear plant. So we are going to make sure we go for that. So we are having the Nuclear Regulatory Commission that will send the standard for that. And then, of course, we are going to have the Office of Refugee Settlement. Refugee settlement. Our refugee will be going very strict screening. We do not want to take terrorists into our land as a refugee. So, of course, we want people in this particular field who are experienced to also come forward. In this one alone, I know what to do. I know one or two buttons to press, and they will prevent terrorists from coming to as a refugee in Biafra land. But we need people, who are experienced in this particular field to come and let us hit the ground running. Office of Primary Education is needed. If you are good in this field, we need you. Office of Post-Primary Education is needed. If you are good in this, we need you. Office of the Secretary of Defense. This is, of course, different because ESNs are there. Office of Pardon Attorney is there. If you are experienced in this, we need you. Office of Secretary of Defense is there. Those of you in America and our serving personnel in the U.S. and then also retired personnel in the U.S., you are also very much aware that the Office of the Secretary of Defense of Biafra is needed. And of course, it has to come from some of you. The Parole Commission is needed. If you are experienced in that, we need you. We also need a Patent and Trademark Office. If you have experience in patent and trademark, and so we need you to be part of the think tank team to set up the Patent and Trademark Office of Biafra. The Pension Benefit Corporation of Biafra, pension benefit. If you are experienced or have knowledge about this, we need you to be part of this team. The Postal Inspection Commission. If you are in this logistics and you know how they inspect the post and all that, we need to have the Postal Inspection Commission, and we need your idea and your input. Now we are also looking for people to come forward with how our public health service is going to look like. So for that reason, we have what we call the Public Health Service Commission of Biafra. It is needed. We need people in this healthcare sector, in this public healthcare sector, to tell us, to come and bring ideas on how we are going to set our Biafra Public Health Service Commission. Now we have the Privacy and the Civil Liberty Commission. People are needed on the Privacy and the Civil Liberty Commission. And then, of course, we need individuals to be part of Biafra Radio Commission. The Risk Management Commission is needed. We need you professionals to be part of the brainstorming for this. The Secret Services. Our secret services, secret services, setting up our secret services is needed. We need those who are who are working as agents and all that to be part of this. Securities and Exchange Commission. We need people with knowledge and experience in this Security and Exchange Commission. Selective Service Administration, Business Administration, Small Business Administration. We also need people in Strategic Command Unit, Labor, Wage, Hour Division. We also look for women in Women's Bureau. We also look for people in Special Education. We also look for people in Culture and Disability. And so the list will come up, but this is what I just read through now is what some of the department that we are looking up to for Biafra people to take up responsibility. These individuals and these agencies will meet to work and fine-tune every area of Biafra government department. You will closely work with ministers and commissioners in charge of different departments, and that is coming from the Biafra department recruitment. And so we are going to, I am going to post the email where, if you are interested to be part of the Biafra LA brainstorming team, as I just read it out now, you will have to send email to this email that will appear on the screen in one moment. Send your email and your showing of interest to Biafra Department at gmail.com. 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 I want to also announce today that the autopilot IPOB in the USA have now officially launched their WhatsApp numbers and WhatsApp group. So if you are in the US and you want to be part of the autopilot team or autopilot, you want to join autopilot group, there is number to contact, and I'm going to make this number available on the screen. And those who that we have not announced their autopilot number, please, as I am doing this now, you may wish to remind me about that your state or your country have not been announced yet. Very, very important. So we can bring it to the screen for everybody to watch. We have almost 19,000 people watching this program today. 19,000 people watching at this point. So we are going to have one moment. You are going to have the WhatsApp number for Autopilot USA. Autopilot USA. All right. When you look at the screen, you are going to see the Autopilot USA. One moment. I need to re-edit it a little bit. All right. When you look at the screen, you are going to see USA Autopilot, Madam Azuka. Madam Azuka, the number is there on the screen. If you are in the USA and you want to be part of the Autopilot team on WhatsApp or, the group, so you can be given a special task and you know what is going on, you contact Madam Azuka. The next person to contact is Dr. Blessing. Dr. Blessing number is there. You contact Dr. Blessing +1 770 3297 339, and then the next person to contact the USA is Dr. Ruby. Dr. Ruby is +1 40 466 32493. Dr. Ruby. So once you contact these people, if you are in the US, any part of the US you are, they are going to link you up to the autopilot WhatsApp group. Very, very, very important. Very important. They're going to link you up to autopilot group. So we are going to be all right, and again, I need to. My time is up because I have been. I'm supposed to have a meeting in a few minutes' time, and I have to leave the program. So from here, I thank you all for being part of this program. May God bless you. May God bless Mazin Amdikano. May God bless Issa Security Network. May God bless Sunday Iboho. May God bless Omwada. May God bless their husband. May God bless media team. May God bless you watching. May God bless all our alliances. May God bless all of you. And those I remember and those I did not remember yet, may God bless all of you. From here, from me,